Chapter 26. Punctuation. Punctuation is a system or a process to make a language understandable to the masses. So, some pauses are made in the written language by using the marks in an easiest form. It is very clear that punctuation marks are frequently used in written language. A lot of marks are used for this purpose. We should learn about each mark so that we may use them while writing the language. A simple mark can change the sense of a sentence, so correct use of these marks is necessary. Some commonly used punctuation marks in written language are given below with their names: full stop, comma, semicolon, colon, question mark, mark of exclamation, quotation mark, apostrophe, dash, hyphen, parenthesis. Capital letters and their uses. Well begun is half done is a well-known saying. So, we should see the beginning of the sentence. We see if the beginning of the sentence is wrong, the other use of punctuation mark cannot be useful because the beginning is wrong. This is why we should know the correct use of capital letters. A capital letter is used in the beginning of the sentence. Example: he is a boy. You are going to school. She went home. The first letter of each line of the poem is in capital letters. Example: on a stone chair in the marketplace sits a stone gentleman with a stone face. He is a great. He is good. He is as old as I. How many years? I have not been told. Although in a poem the sentence does not complete in a line, yet the first letter of the next line is always capital. The first letter of the proper noun and proper adjective is always a capital letter. Example: Bhagat Singh, Bharat, Ramayana, Delhi, Taj Mahal, etc. Proper nouns. Chinese, Russians, Americans, Indians, etc. Proper adjectives. Pronoun I is always used as capital even if it is in the middle of the sentence. Example: I shall go to school. You and I will do the work. The first letter of the political parties. Example: Congress, BSP, JP, Janata Dal, Lok Dal, etc. The first letter of any language even if it is written in the middle of the sentence. Example: our mother tongue is Hindi. Can you read and write Latin? The first letter of the name of newspapers, magazines, institutions, universities, etc. Example: Punjab University, Engineering College, Delhi Public School, The Times of India, India Today. The first letter of all the days of the week, months of the year and festivals. Examples: Monday, Baisakhi, January, December, Diwali, Xmas, etc. The first letter of the gods and goddesses. Example: Lord Krishna, Vaishno Devi, God Shiva, God Vishnu, etc. The first letter of the first word of the reported speech, direct speech. Example: Deepak said, when will you come again? The teacher said, open your book at page 10. When non-living things are considered as living things. Example: oh death, how cruel are you?
The first letter of the main word of the title and heading. Example: The Struggle for Freedom, 1857, Modern English Reader, A Street Quarrel.
The first letter of the historical events and buildings. Example: the Second World War, Qutub Minar, the Red Fort, etc. Every letter of abbreviations and degrees. Example: BA, MBBS, MP, CIT, SD, Lit, etc. the first letter of every word of the names of famous books. Example, the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Quran, the Bible, etc. The first letter of the mountains, rivers, seas, and oceans. Example, the Alps, the Yamuna, the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, etc. The first letter of the initials. Example, A.K. Sharma, B.R. Ghosh, etc. Almighty God is written with the capital letter wherever is written. Example, God is omnipresent. We must pray to God. May God save you. The use of punctuation mark. The full stop. The full stop is the most important mark of punctuating the writing. It indicates the end of a sentence of the view given by a speaker. Without this mark, we cannot justify the view of a speaker. If the speaker goes on saying without any stop or writing without this mark, we cannot understand the speaker's view and cannot understand the meaning of the written material. This mark will guide us where to stop so that the listeners can understand the view well. It is used in all the sentences except interrogative and exclamatory sentences. The full stop represents the greatest pause and separation. Example, I was reading a book. Stop writing. I won the prize. I will go to school. I will read there. It is very near to my house. Full stop is used in abbreviations and initials. Example, NDA, MCD, PhD, MBA, Professor S.C. Bose, Dr. M.K. Gandhi. The comma. It represents the shortest pause or span of a sentence. It is used to separate a group of words of the same category in the same sentence, but is not used before and or. Example, he lost his book, pen, scale, and ink pot. I purchased a shirt, a trouser, a tie, and a belt. To separate each pair of words which are connected by and. Example, low and high, old and young, boys and girls visited the Red Fort. The Independence Day celebration can be enjoyed by every citizen, rich and poor, old and young, men and women. To mark the nominative of address. Example, come here Deepak. Why are you making a noise, Sachin? To separate the phrase in apposition. Example, Kalidas, the Shakespeare of India, wrote the Shakuntalam. Mr. Peter, a hard-working teacher, was awarded. To separate the same parts of speech, we cannot separate a noun, adjective, and an adverb, being the different parts of speech. Example, he writes slowly, legibly, and correctly. All adverbs. I saw a fat, black, and cunning bear in the zoo. All adjectives. He is a noble, honest, and wise man. All adjectives. Deepak, Sachin, and Vipin are friends. All nouns. To separate a participle phrase. Example, having seen the tiger, the hunter shot it dead. It is used in answering the questions in positive and negative. Example, question, will you come to school? Answer, yes, I will come, or no, I will not come. To separate the coordinate verb from the reported speech. Example, Adarsh said, what are you doing? Afzal said to him, come here. To separate the coordinate clause when they have different subjects. Example, the teacher came, the students began to work. The semicolon. It shows a greater or longer pause than a comma and shorter than a full stop. We can say that it is a compromise between a comma and a full stop. It is used to separate groups of loosely connected clauses. Example, she asked, I kept quiet. She wanted some reply. To separate the clauses of compound sentences when they contain a comma. Example, as brave we respect him, we thought for him. As he was valiant, we honor him. To separate the coordinate clauses joined by conjunctions as well as, only, therefore, otherwise, etc. Example, they had to work hard, otherwise they would face the failures to get their aims. To separate pair of words each separated by a comma. Example, seen, seen, in, here, are, fair, week, week. The colon. A colon sometimes is followed by a dash and is used to introduce the things. Example, the four members are Kamal, Vimal, Harish and Rahul. Answer the following questions. A colon is used to introduce quotations. Example, he said, the earth revolves round the sun. Gandhiji said, truth is God. The question mark or mark of interrogation. The question mark is used at the end of direct questions. Example, what are you doing? Where do you live? Remember, question mark is not used in the indirect speech. Example, I asked him what he was doing. When a question is in the form of a very polite request. Example, could you do me a favor? Will you please pass me a cup of tea? The mark of exclamation. The mark of exclamation is used in place of a full stop in an exclamatory sentence and in interjections. Example, oh, hurrah, alas, bravo, etc. Hurrah, I won the prize. May God bless you. What a lovely flower. Alas, Hari is ruined. The quotation marks or inverted commas. The quotation marks are used in the beginning and end of all the reported speech or in the direct form of speech. Example, he says to me, when will you come? Mohit said to me, you are wrong. Remember, if a quotation falls in between the quotation will be marked by a single commas. Example, he said, well began is half done, is a well-known saying. The apostrophe. It is used to show the position on a noun. Example, Deepak's book, Sachin's room, the girls' school, my brother's house, etc. It is used to mark the omission of a letter or letters when two words are joined. Example, I plus will is equal to I'll. Do plus not is equal to don't. Can plus not is equal to can't. It is used to mark the plural of letters and figures. Example, add 5 forces and 2 threes. 3 MLAs live here. Many MAs and MComs are in search of job. Remember, apostrophe is used only for living things and not for non-living things. We say pages of the book and not books pages. The dash. The dash is used to show a sudden change of thought. Example, early days of our life. we are told, are the happiest days of our lives. It is used to mark the words for explanation. Example, they went on with their load, books, boxes, and other items. The hyphen. It is much shorter than the dash. It is used to join the parts of compound word. Example, brother-in-law, sister-in-law, commander-in-chief, passer-by, etc. To separate the fractional parts written in words. Example, 1/3, 3/7. After a prefix, vice principal, cooperation, sub-inspector.
End of chapter. Click here to go to the next chapter.